Good morning, everyone, and welcome to A Great New Beginning. Before we start into our program, I'd like to discuss a few safety issues. We have 3 exits from this building. There's lighted 3 locations. The one that you came in went to my left, the one to the immediate right. We have emergency lighting. We have first aid attendants, Ruby Mashenko. Where are you, Ruby? Right up front. We have Glenn McCaffrey and Grant Russell as well, at the back. This is a non-smoking event. And we're supplying coffee and donuts, and please be aware of your own personal food allergies and make us aware of anything should any problems arise. My name is Steve Kobolak, and I have the honor of introducing a lot of our guests, actually all of our guests. I also have the tough part trying to pronounce their names. We had supper together last night with our fellow employees that came from Edmonton and PA last night. And they actually brought the snow with them because it started in Edmonton and ended up in Hudson Bay, so we have them to thank for that. But they're a good, casual group of people and very humble. They don't even want me to introduce their titles because they say they're just like all of the rest of us in the trenches. I'm just going to read off the names, and if you could stand up, give us a wave so people can recognize who I'm talking about. Stan Nichols, Joe Diaz, Steve Smith, morning. Karen Davidson, Mike Hayner,
good morning.
Rod Dempster,
Good morning.
Norm Denny,
Hello.
Doug Loads. You can tell this that I'm doing it random because I look to my right and they stand up on my left. Tim Boston, Dave McKeeman,
Good morning.
Mitch Gregoire, Wayne Rosnowski. That was the tough one. Chuck Peterson.
Good morning.
Scott Sauvé.
Good morning.
Frank Brunning.
Good to see you.
That's a Hudson Bay boy back in town. Sharon Milner. Dave Harmon. Dave Biggs.
Good morning.
Len Pelchier.
Good morning.
Stan Holmes.
Good morning.
Alex Abbott. Dennis Bonville. John Robillard. And last but not least, the guy that's coming up to give us a few remarks, the GM of Hudson Bay Panels, and a friend of mine. You hate me to say that part, but Mr. Bob Back.
Thanks, Steve. Morning, everyone. And thanks for coming together today. This really is a historic event for all of us today. In fact, joining with Weyerhaeuser is probably the biggest event our business has ever experienced. First, let me share with you my personal perspective. I think we're all becoming a little more familiar with Weyerhaeuser now, and you're probably finding, as I have, that it's a good match with our MB values and our history. From what I've seen of Weyerhaeuser, they have the right stuff. And if we were going to be acquired, I can't think of a better, more ethical, or more successful company in the industry to be associated with than Weyerhaeuser. I believe we have some huge opportunities with the 3 Hudson Bay mills, and we'll need to look for those synergies that will ensure we keep our mills safe and clean and competitive. We'll have some challenges ahead as we work through the change, I'm sure, but I think this is a good move for us, and we'll manage through these challenges together. I personally am looking forward to our future with Weyerhaeuser and all of you. Now, let me introduce Rod Dexter, the Vice President of Western Panels out of Edmonton.
Thanks, Bob. And good morning, everyone, and thanks for coming out here today. We really appreciate this opportunity to speak to you in person. Just a little bit about myself. To start off with, although I can't say that it's like coming back to home to be here today, I do have some close roots to this area. My mother was born and raised in Saskatoon, and my father in Prince Albert. I grew up in Edmonton, and grew up cheering for guys like George Reed and Ron Lancaster. It was kind of tough because all of my friends were cheering for Wilkinson and McGowan. And so when you grew up in Edmonton, you were supposed to cheer for the Eskimos, but I was a Rough Rider fan for a number of years. And I was sad to see the Rough Riders lose this weekend. I'm really pleased to be here to personally welcome you to Weyerhaeuser today, and also your families. They're a very important part of our extended family. And I'm not here alone today to welcome you to Weyerhaeuser. We brought several people from our business. We've got some unit general managers from Great Valley and Slave Lake. We've got some of our senior HR people. We've got some, of course, we've got a couple of accountants. And there's just a number of people here that were really interested in coming here to make sure you were welcomed properly to Weyerhaeuser. Over the past 20 or so years that I've been in this business, I've heard a great deal about the great things that are going on out here. And so it really gives me a great deal of pleasure and satisfaction and pride to be here as your partners. Today we're making a milestone in history of the forest products industry. It's by far the largest acquisition that Weyerhaeuser has ever accomplished. And our size in Canada is now approximately 10,000 employees, almost double what it was before the acquisition, before the marriage. It's a very good fit for Weyerhaeuser. We're becoming a stronger, more profitable North American company, and that's good for all of us because it adds to our security. The combination also positions us as a leader in the global marketplace as we enter our second century as a company. I don't know if you're aware of it, but Weyerhaeuser is going to turn 100 years old in the year 2000. I believe M&B is pretty close to that themselves. So combining these two companies will give us even greater geographic reach, allow us to offer our customers a broader mix of products like plywood, OSB, and lumber, and will increase our ability to efficiently meet our customer needs. Probably will ask, will the changes be a challenge for us as we look ahead in the next several months? And I have to say, I think it will be a great challenge. We'll have some bumps along the way, but I think we'll get through it. But I think that with good planning and coordination and by working together, we'll be able to make any changes that are required quickly and smoothly. By the way, this isn't the first time we've done this, and you're not alone here today. Weyerhaeuser Canada, if you look across the country, is really a collection of acquisitions over the last 20 or 30 years. We all come from companies like Pelican, Fletcher Challenge, Procter & Gamble, Alvor, Montague, Weldwood, Marathon, and a host of others. Now with this marriage, we add Jaeger, Eagle, Saskforest MacMillan, and others as well. So the good news in all this is that all of us up here and all of us out in our other locations across the country have all gone through exactly what you're going through here today. And I can tell you from personal experience, it isn't that bad. We need your help. And where we need your help is in keeping us focused on our top priorities. Working safely. It's our number one priority. Our goal is incident-free. Respecting our existing labor agreements. And this goes without saying, the IWA is a partner of ours and we act that way. Retaining our customers and serving them well is very important. They're the ones that keep us employed. We have to meet our productivity and financial goals, because doing this will make sure that our shareholders continue to support us. And we have to retain and energize you, the people, and assist you as we go through the changes that are about to take place. So another question you may have is what will it be like during the next coming days, weeks, and months? During the transition, there's likely to be far more questions than there is answers, but we promise that we will get information out and share information with you as soon as it is available. There's going to be continuing excitement and energy because there's still a great deal of work that has to be done. Most of the work that has to be done doesn't impact us in our day-to-day jobs, but there will be a lot of activity going on. We strive in this company to make speedy and quick decisions, and we keep things as simple as we can. You can expect us to put safety first in everything we do, and you can expect us to make a few mistakes along the way. But we promise that when we do make mistakes, we'll work together to resolve them and get back to business as quickly as possible. After the transition is complete, the only certainty that we can expect is that we have to continue to change. Our competition isn't sitting idle. They're getting better every day as we speak, and we have to do the same. And we have to get better at a faster rate than they are. What do we expect and need from each of you? Well, a new part of everybody's job is to really make this merger work. We need your help here. We need everyone to be part of the team and part of the effort to make this a successful combined company. We're now one great team, and we have to behave that way. Remember that customer retention is a very important part of our strategy, and we need to focus on doing our core work to satisfy these customers as safely as possible. Let's use words like us and we and avoid the them and they. Focus on teamwork and partnership. Treat everybody with dignity and respect. We'll be successful if we team up together. We are the team, and our goal is to be the best. So be in charge of your morale, take control, and let's be positive about this. Rumors will be rampant. I'm aware that there's been rumors throughout the process, and there was the time that our company was acquired by Weyerhaeuser as well. And all I can tell you is that don't believe a lot of what you hear. If what you're hearing doesn't make sense, it probably isn't right. Ask questions and stop negative rumors. And another thing is, I find from personal experiences, during times like this, it's quite often easy to slip into imagining worst-case scenarios. And if this happens to you, I really highly recommend you speak to somebody in the know and get an answer to your question. And very important, let's keep our sense of humor. Should be fun. It's a great business we've got here. You're part of a great team across North America, and we should be able to really enjoy ourselves for well into the future. Now, what can you expect from your Weyerhaeuser leaders? Well, lots. Probably the same thing you expected from your MMB leaders. And the same thing we expect from everyone, actually, when you get right down to it. Here's what we think is important. Fast, open, and honest communication, everyone treated consistently. No special groups, everyone is important. The same rules apply to everyone, and consistency is the key phrase in our approach to leadership. We won't make false promises, and we won't tell you what we think you want to hear. We won't sugarcoat stuff. We'll treat you like adults. Leaders will listen to your issues and concerns. We expect all of our leaders to be expert listeners. We'll take the time to understand first before acting. In the eyes of our leadership, you are the customer. We'll keep our promises and follow through on our commitments. We'll do exactly what we say we will do. There are no exceptions to this belief. We call it walking the talk, and our actions will match our words. We believe in accountability, and that everyone is responsible to contribute to the success of the organization. People are responsible for their behavior and their actions, and they're rewarded for positive contributions. We take a great deal of pride in how we get things done. And in our business, it's not enough to just get things done. In our business, it's important how we get things done and how we reach our goals. For example, if we set a production record in one of the mills, but to do so we had to sacrifice or compromise safety, to us that would not be a success, that would be a great failure. So we take great pride in how we get things done. We also share the why of our decisions, along with the what and the how. We believe in high levels of participation, and throughout all levels of the organization, and whenever time permits and the issue calls for it, we look for high levels of participation from everybody. All levels of decisions and changes that we make. And again, as I said, we'll make some mistakes. We aren't perfect. We don't expect to be. One thing you can be assured of, though, is that we will not get frozen into inaction by fear of making mistakes. We expect action, and if we so happens we made the wrong decision, we fix it and get on with business. So they won't see us frozen, afraid to act. Okay, so as a leadership team, we're committed to treating everyone fairly, dignity, and respect. We provide fast, complete communication, and we'll encourage participation. We'll do what we say we'll do, and we'll learn from our mistakes, and we'll reward positive contributions. Again, we need you to work to continue to perform the way you have been. There's a very successful site here. We need you to continue that. We need you to embrace this change, to work with us to make it work. And we need you to keep talking to us and let us know how it's going. The hard work of integrating the two companies is really just beginning. It's a huge challenge, and there's many people behind the scenes that will be working long hours in making this work. The good thing is that we've got great people and processes that can help us achieve our ultimate goal. And for those of you that don't know, the ultimate goal in Weyerhaeuser is to be the best forest products company in the world. I guess you'd say that's a 5 to 10 year vision. Our long-term vision is now to be the best company in the world, period. So let's think about what's happening here today. What's specifically about Hudson Bay? We're combining important, successful histories and reputations. And let's not forget, Hudson Bay also already has several roots into our organization as we speak. A lot of our current employees in Edson, Great Valley, and Slave Lake came from Hudson Bay and had a great impact on how we operate our units today. So we are different, but we're not as different as you think. And we're prairie folks too. With this marriage, each of us bring competitive advantages to the table. You do some things better than us, and we do some things better than you. When we put these two things together, we come up with a stronger, combined business. And it's stronger than either of the two that we were prior to the merger. This is good for us, and it's good for our customers, it's good for our shareholders, and it's good for our communities. How the customers benefit? With more mills in our system, we can offer them a much broader product offering, and more of it as well. Perhaps one-stop panel shopping. It's good for our mills because it allows us to establish an optimum product mix for each mill and to take advantage of each mill's unique strengths, avoiding products that don't fit at particular mills. For example, not all mills like to make quarter inch, and some of our mills can't make thick products. With the number of mills we have in our system, we can make sure that each mill gets the products that makes it work the best. And long runs of the same product increase mill efficiencies, they reduce upset conditions, and that improves safety. We believe in the structural panel business, and it's our job to grow this business. We both figured out what it takes to run a 4-foot OSB line profitably, especially in the face of very, very fierce competition. But we're really excited about learning about the plywood business, and we've got a great new mill underway here on the site. So when you look around, the site is extremely exciting, a welcome addition, and we're really happy about getting involved. At Weyerhaeuser, we hold ourselves to the highest values of safety and community responsibility. You can expect healthy, productive, and sustainable forests. Expect that we will be a great corporate citizen, and expect a safe workplace where individuals put the safety of themselves and their co-workers first. I'd like to make a special note here on safety for all of you to hear, and I guess I can't blame you if you forget everything that I told you up until now, but I would like you to remember what I'm about to say about safety. When we say we put safety first, we really mean it. This will mean changed behaviors for many of us. Historically, we've done whatever it takes to get the job done, or to get the mill up and running after a breakdown. We've all taken chances, and we've all watched our coworkers do the same thing. In this business, we expect no one to take chances. Now, that doesn't mean that all of our mills are going to be hazard-free. They always will have hazards in them, and we'll never be able to change that. But we can change the way we approach each potentially dangerous situation. And we'll want safe behavior built into everything we do. Our phrase is, there is nothing that we do that is worth getting hurt for. Absolutely nothing. So what I'm saying is, no heroes. We're not looking for heroes. We want your thoughts and your ideas, not your arms, your legs, your backs, and your shoulders. So to wrap up, when we achieve our goal, the rewards will be many. Job satisfaction, health, and self-esteem for you, our employees, and your families. Happy shareholders because we'll be profitable. Sustained customers, satisfied customers and suppliers because we'll be the best at what we do and we'll be their best choice. Clean, healthy, and sustainable communities because we care, and Weyerhaeuser, we're proud of our reputation. Our great histories and our quality people will generate an exciting future for all of us. Weyerhaeuser and M&B combine the right stuff, both are proud companies with very similar values. Our company tagline is, our future is growing, and together we'll make it happen. I look forward to making the journey with you, and I hope to meet all of you sometime in the future. At this point in time, I want to introduce a special guest. One of the things you'll soon learn about Weyerhaeuser is that we're an extremely large company. And like all large companies, we've got lots of vice presidents. Some people say too many. Well, here in the prairies, we're no exception. And I'm really pleased to introduce my partner, Mike Hayner, who's the VP at the Prince Albert site, and the guy that I call Mr. Saskatchewan in Weyerhaeuser. I'm going to let Mike explain further how he fits in and what important role he plays in our future together.
Good, thanks, Rod. Good morning, everyone. I know I'm standing between some of you and your beds, having come off night shift, so I will keep my remarks brief. Rod asked me to explain a little bit about myself, so I'll do that. I've been in Saskatchewan now in the Prince Albert location for about 20 years. Also, my family has roots here in Saskatchewan. My grandfather was a homesteader in the Wilkie area. Came here in 1904 and going back home. My role with, as well as being the manager of the Prince Albert pulp and paper facility, is I'm also responsible for timberlands in Saskatchewan. And that is really my connection with you folks here in Hudson Bay. So I'll be working with Stan Holmes and Steve Smith on timberlands issues. And of course, out of timberlands comes many of our public affairs, environmental, government affairs issues. And in Weyerhaeuser, we say that our license to operate is ultimately public opinion. And that is a byword that we have, and so we work hard to convince the public that we should be allowed to cut their trees and to have our manufacturing facilities in their communities discharging to the air and the water. And, so we pay a lot of attention to environmental matters. Rod mentioned that the organization in Canada, Weyerhaeuser Canada, is basically a conglomeration of a bunch of acquisitions, and that is exactly right. And so we have a lot of cultures that have come together, and it's not an easy thing to become part of a different culture, a different way of doing things. But I know that having gone through what you're going through at the moment in Prince Albert, when Weyerhaeuser bought us there, after having been owned by a government and owned by a private company, and a combination of the two is almost exactly the same as what you folks are going through. I understand that some of you are probably feeling a little anxiety about your future. I just want to give you some assurance that having gone through the same thing, and now having worked for Weyerhaeuser for the last 12, 13 years, what Rod said is that the Weyerhaeuser is a company that pays a lot of attention to treating its people well. We have a very principled leadership with some very strong values. And the value that is on top of the chart is safety. And Rod uses the saying that nothing we do is worth getting hurt for, and that's exactly right. I didn't realize that they use the same saying in the OSB business, but we use that exact saying in pulp and paper. Nothing we do is worth getting hurt for. So the anxiety some of you are feeling, and maybe some of the questions you're having over the next couple days, each one of you will have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with Weyerhaeuser people, and so your questions can be answered, hopefully to your satisfaction, so you'll feel comfortable with your new company at the end of those couple days. You're going to get an awful lot of information about your new company here in the next while, but just bear with me just a minute. I'll try to give you some data about where you are. In Canada now, we have 11,000 employees. You're part of a national organization, about 11,000 employees, which makes us the largest forest products company in Canada, which is I didn't realize that statistic until just a few days ago. Now, some of you are probably aware that Weyerhaeuser is quite a large company. We have holdings around the world, but we are basically a North American manufacturer. We have no manufacturing facilities outside of North America. But you're now part of a company that is the largest producer of softwood lumber in the world. We're the largest producer of market pulp in the world. We're the largest producer of OSB panels in Canada, and I believe the second largest in the world. We're the largest holder of private timberlands in North America, and possibly the world, I don't know that. In Saskatchewan, many of you are probably aware of the other facilities we have, but let me go down them anyway. We have the pulp and paper mill in Prince Albert, with about 900 employees there. The timberlands operation that operates off an FMA that is roughly the size of yours, slightly larger, with 45 employees there who administer the contractors on our FMA. We have a sawmill in Big River with about 150 employees that is currently in the process of expanding to about triple the size. And we have a sawmill that we just built in Prince Albert. It's called Wapaweka, and the same name as the lake. And the Wapaweka sawmill is a joint venture between Weyerhaeuser and 3 First Nations bands, Laurent Band, Peter Valentine, and Montreal Lake. It just started up today, and it is doing very, very well. I'm pleased to announce. Steve Rogel, who you'll get introduced to in just a few minutes, the president of our company, said that combining the operations of Weyerhaeuser and MacMillan Bloedel will create a North American company. From a Canadian company and an American company will now create a North American company, which is going to be a powerhouse in our industry. And that is absolutely right from the statistics I gave you. Combining the 2 biggest forest products companies in Saskatchewan, Weyerhaeuser and MB, Saskforest MacMillan, were the largest forest products company. So we are now a very large forest products company in Saskatchewan. I believe we'll be responsible for about 2/3 of the forestry operations in the province. So we're very big. So thank you very much for the opportunity to come on here and talk to you today. I appreciate you folks coming out. It's a pleasure to be on the same team with you. And welcome to Weyerhaeuser, and have a safe day. Thanks. Ron?
Thanks, Mike. Okay, yeah. Right now then, what I'd like to do is share a short video with you that we prepared for this occasion. And this is a video that's going to be shown at every single MacMillan Bloedel location across North America. So if we could have the video, please.
Group that you're talking to, but there is one great overall benefit. We're taking one well-known large American company and an equally well-known in Canada large forest products company, putting them together and creating a great North American company.
Is a progressive, forward-thinking company. We're very environmentally conscious. We plant more trees than we harvest. We're constantly looking for improvements, and it's a solid, stable company. It has a very good reputation. Being part of that family, you're going to share in all of that. That's how I feel.
Yes, their values and goals are very much in line with what MacMillan Bloedel has. It's like you have ownership here. That's what it's like for me. I come to work and I have a say. I feel I do matter, and I think we all feel we can make a difference here.
I feel like I personally get rewarded from working here. When somebody asks me, well, where do you work? And I say, well, I work for Weyerhaeuser. Oh, it's a good thing. You can take pride in that.
Apparently, we're not that different in cultures. I just wonder whether Weyerhaeuser is into employee involvement, co-management, and things like that. That's a concern for me because to us, we've had a taste of that kind of success, and it would be hard to ever let it go again.
I know that if I have an issue or a problem or even a suggestion as to how to do something, all I gotta do is go to the manager or the supervisor and let them know about that.
I believe that management is always receptive to ideas from any employee, no matter who they are. If someone has a better idea, a better method of doing a job, the door is always open.
In my home store, they still let us have a say. They listen. We're a true resource to this industry for the workers, for the meat and potatoes of it. We just got a new CEO. And this fella upstairs, Mr. Rogel, he has brought in some experience from outside that is really making this company stand up and pay attention. This guy seems to really know what's going on in the real world. And he seems to be a working man, and he seems to be the kind of man that gets his people involved. And he's pushing this involvement. Right now it's down to where we're at. This is where it needs to be, because as I make a decision down here at the first line on what's really affected me, and those people upstairs listen to that, you don't get any better than this.
Weyerhaeuser, from what I understand, is very strong on safety. I think we're just starting to explore world-class safety.
We focus very heavily on safety throughout Weyerhaeuser.
Feels real safe to work here. We have a really good safety program and just pushing it further all the time.
I think it is our goal of everybody to not only arrive on the job in the morning, but to be able to go home safely at night. And I think that's very important in an industry that is very unforgiving when things go wrong.
As far as I'm concerned, the Weyerhaeuser has an opportunity, with us becoming Weyerhaeuser, we have a lot more opportunity to maybe access the American market, find out how they run their business down there compared to how we run ours.
I see this as a positive move for not only our company, but as the industry is evolving this way, that we needed to align ourselves with somebody that has similar values and has products that fit our business.
A lot of the products that they have really play into a lot of things in distribution that we have. It gives us a more broad product mix to service the current customers we have.
Cooperation and teamwork are really important. We've all got to work together. Management, union, everybody, we all have to work together.
It's like grabbing a rope and being part of a team. Everybody grabs a rope and pulls in the same direction. And it's amazing you can move a mountain if everybody's pulling.
MacMillan Bloedel will be a great addition to the Weyerhaeuser family.
We make a good product. There's no reason why Weyerhaeuser just couldn't benefit from what M&B already has. M&B was a good employer, and I'm sure Weyerhaeuser would be the same.
We are the true resource in my mind. And once again, MacMillan Bloedel is tapping that resource, which is us. And I hope Weyerhaeuser carries on that way.
We got to do the best. I second this. It's not good enough. Making excuses is not good enough. You got to see what's out there and be better. It's the only way to look at it.
I know Weyerhaeuser, by putting out that they're here to stay and want to grow business and want to be the best in the business. And that's the type of company I want to work for.
I'd like to personally welcome MacMillan Bloedel employees into the Weyerhaeuser family. We're joining together two companies with almost 100-year histories, and we're moving forward together into the 21st century. I believe that we can become the best together.
What I'd like to do now is to present some symbolic gifts of this occasion to Bob Babbitt on behalf of all of you folks. And what I have here is a Weyerhaeuser logo mag light and Swiss Army knife. We have one of each for each of you today as you leave as well. And our idea here is that the mag light is a symbol of our bright future together, and the Swiss Army knife is symbolic of the safe use of tools and equipment. So Bob, I'd like you to step up and receive this on this site's behalf. I also like to mark the occasion by providing each of the sites, the plywood mill, the OSB 1000 mill, the OSB 2000 mill, and the office building, Timberland statue to commemorate this first day of our promising future together. Maybe we can hand it around or something.
Thank you, Russ.
Now, I'd also like to give a special word of thanks to John Robillard, our next guest. John has handed over this site in tip-top shape. He's worked with us, really cooperated with us during the transition, and his excellent leadership skills and willingness to work closely with us has really benefited all of us and all of us jointly. And we're wishing John a really happy retirement. We understand he's got a great place on a lake that he's going to do lots of golfing at. And I guess you guys celebrated that on Saturday night here, so I don't have to tell you that. But I did want to say that I haven't known John for a long time, although I have heard about him for a number of years. But getting to know him in this short period of time, I really got to gain a lot of respect for him, and I can understand why this was an attractive asset for Weyerhaeuser to be interested in acquiring. So with that, I'd like to ask John Robillard to come up and say a few words.
I wonder how many of you remember that exactly 4.5 years ago we had the same meeting. May 1st of 1995, I stood up here and talked about the formation of Saskforest MacMillan and the fact that we were going to see change. And we've all seen our share of change. At that time, we talked about some of the goals and objectives. And I can feel very proud to have been your representative as a company, in that we did achieve most of the things we set out to do. I said that we were going to make our company safe, and we've done that. We aren't complete yet, but we are a long, long way along. I said that we were going to make our company profitable and efficient, and we've done that. At that time, we talked about the need for the forest management agreement. That's in hand. Also at that time, we talked about the opportunity for a new mill in Hudson Bay. And that's well underway. As a matter of fact, it'll probably be referred to as John Robillard's last big erection. As you all know, for about 10 years, I had the good fortune to travel the world, and I was a part of the construction of 4 new mills, 3 in the United States and now 1 here in Canada, and that's great. You know, I can be very, very pleased with what's happened. But I think for today, you know, today is a day of joy for each and every one of you and for the community of Hudson Bay. I think that Weyerhaeuser coming to Hudson Bay is a tremendous opportunity for each and every one of you. You've heard me say, and I'll say again, if I was 35 years old again, I would be delighted at the opportunities ahead of me. I really would. And I think that each and every one of you have a tremendous future, because what's happened here today opens up a whole new realm of opportunity for all of you and for the community. Weyerhaeuser is a very good company. Weyerhaeuser is a very good business company. As a matter of fact, you may not know this, but Weyerhaeuser had to buy all of MacMillan Bloedel to get us here in Hudson Bay. This is what they were after. And even at that, they think they got a hell of a deal. Rod talked about change. And we all know the saying, there's nothing surer than change. In 1996, in one of our newsletters, Wood Chips Lona puts out on a religious basis, I have put a little comment in there of an article that I read a number of years ago, and as a matter of fact, I ordered books for each one of our supervisors and passed them out at a meeting. And it talks about surviving change in the age of instability. And let me just read a few little quotes from there. The winds of change keep building, blowing harder, hitting more people, reshaping all kinds of organizations and altering how they operate. Some organizations will ride the winds, seizing the opportunity to go far, very fast, and sail past the competition. Others that are unprepared for the wind's force and that mistakenly think their safety comes in bracing themselves against it will find their rigidity a fatal stance. They will be shattered, devastated. As for those that think they can lie in low until the storm passes, they'll be left behind. We can't wait for the storm to blow over. We've got to learn to work in bad weather. But the organization that refuses to change or changes too slowly will have even bigger problems. They won't survive. Now, in the last 4 years, we've seen a lot of change, and now you're going to see more change. But change isn't bad, it's just different. So look towards the opportunity that that change can bring you, and grab hold of it. Rod talked about a marriage between MacMillan Bloedel and Weyerhaeuser. Well, I've had the good fortune of giving away 2 of my daughters in marriage. And as sad as that is for me, maybe, it's a joyous day for them. And I said to each of the respective husbands, take good care of them. I'm going to say the same to Rod and his girls. Take good care of you, because that's important. But I also said to the girls, you have a responsibility now to your husband. And I'll challenge you, each of you, to rise to that challenge for Weyerhaeuser. Make them as proud of you as I am. Thank you.
It's a great day, but it's also it's sad to see somebody that's a great person as John, our dad. And Jar, as you said, if you were 35, you'd be excited. Well, speaking on behalf of the 35-year-olds, I'm very excited about the future that this organization has with Weyerhaeuser. We're going to have an opportunity for you to ask a few questions in a few minutes, but first I'd like Dennis Bonville, president of 184, to come up and say a few words.
Thanks, Steve. A couple of things that, I guess some of the last acts, and you heard what some of the last things that John had here this morning. One of the things he asked me is don't talk long and don't swear, for God's sake. So I won't. And I won't talk long because I realize that some of you want to get home. I think there's been a lot of talk this morning about change. And Rod mentioned it in his speech. And I didn't really know what I was going to say this morning, other than the fact that, we're happy to be here. and look forward to working with Weyerhaeuser. One of the things I think that people in Hudson Bay have grown accustomed to is change over the years. And I was just thinking as I drove over here this morning, you know, the Saskforest side of the business, at one time, and people can remember this, that there's people here that worked there at the old timber board, which was the forerunner to Saskforest products. So you went from the timber board to Saskforest products to Saskforest MacMillan to MacMillan Bloedel for a short period of time, and now to Weyerhaeuser. In the OSB side of things, you went from Wisewood to MacMillan Bloedel to Saskforest MacMillan, back to MacMillan Bloedel, and now to Weyerhaeuser. So we're not foreign to change. And I think that one of the things that our people in Hudson Bay, our members here, is they really have the ability to work within the guidelines of change, and I think that that's what will happen here. We're very fortunate, I believe, and when I say we, I guess especially Weyerhaeuser as a company is very fortunate to have in Hudson Bay the center of a very abundant resource. And I'll say it because nobody else has said it, although they say it all the time in negotiations, our people are our greatest resource. Well, believe me, I think that one of the reasons why Weyerhaeuser is over here today is based on the experience that our people have in this millwork industry, because people in this room, and your fathers, your mothers, your brothers, your sisters have grown up in this industry, in this community, and we know how to produce. So that's one of the things that we've got going for us. And I'm proud to be the president of the IWA and represent you people. And we're not afraid of working with Weyerhaeuser. We will look forward to working with Weyerhaeuser, and have for a number of years already in Big River, and recently with the Wapaweka Mill over in Prince Albert. So we look forward to working with them. We're glad to see some of the old faces back here today. When I think of some of the times that we had with Frank Brunny down in that warehouse, I was very surprised to see Frank here, but glad to see you here, Frank. Maybe we can chase you around again somewhere. But I just want to say, on behalf of the IWA, welcome Weyerhaeuser to our community here and in Carrot River, and we look forward to doing business with you. And if you would like to reopen the collective agreements and make some adjustments, we'll do that. Thank you.
You're always such a good kid, yes. We have some gifts for our out-of-town guests, so we want to give right now. So I'd ask John and Stan to present those.
What I'd like to do is just present to Rod and Mike a little token of our appreciation for all that's happening and how it's happened, coming together of the two companies, and welcome Weyerhaeuser to Hudson Bay on behalf of everybody here. So Rod, well, and for each of the other Weyerhaeuser attendees, we also have a gift.
Before we start our call for questions, I'd ask the group, majority of our group, to step down and move to the areas where our people are going to be exiting from, so that you can be there to pass out the gifts and answer any questions on a one-on-one basis. And I'd ask Rod and Mike to stay up here. And Glenn McCaffrey, you have a portable microphone there, I believe. And is this already on, Glenn, up here? Okay. If you could just raise your hand and motion to Glenn that you have a question. Okay, whose idea was it to have a question answered here? Oh.
When you made the statement you were happy to be out in the prairie, not the dirt, more friendly with the prairie.
The question was, happy to be out, you said you're happy to be out in the prairies. You're not going to turn the whole place into the prairies,
I'll take that as a forest management question. Absolutely not. The forest management agreement that is in place and the forest management plan that has been approved for the Saskforest FMA remains intact. All of the terms and conditions that are attached to that remain intact, and the entire basis for that forest management plan, sustainability of the resource, is totally consistent with the Weyerhaeuser values, and in fact, those of us in Prince Albert intend to model a lot of the practices in the new forest management plan for the Prince Albert area after the Saskforest FMA. So, quick answer to the question: we don't intend to turn this part of the country into the prairie. The forest will be there into the future.
As a further response to that, I was driving back Thursday from Saskatoon and heard the Weyerhaeuser ad where they talked about planting 6.5 million seedlings in Saskatchewan. Saskforest MacMillan this year will plant 3.5, so they can now change their ad to 10 million seedlings. So you can see the effect that that's going to have in the overall problem.
Any other questions? We got out there easy. If there's no other questions, I just want to thank everyone for coming out and braving the first snowfall. I'm not sure, Danny, do we have a winner on our snowfall contest as a result of this meeting?
I think there's 20 or 30 of them.
We have an information package as well as a gift for everyone as you exit. We ask that the plywood group go to back on the left-hand side, my left. Yeah. And the OSB group and corporate and woodlands, if they can go off to my right. I'd like to thank everybody who helped put this together. We just don't throw this on overnight, but in fact we do basically in short notice events. And thank you for everybody attending. I'm looking forward to a lot of good things with our new employer. Goodbye.
Where do you want this, Audrey? Down here. Down here? Oh, Stand behind. Yeah. Make your step.